Thank you. Hello, this is Claire of Clarity with Claire. How are you doing? Um, you know me, I don't upload and record unless I have something that I want to say, something that they're going, say this, and they haven't. I've been doing my own personal stuff, but I do have something to say today. And also, I haven't been recording because I've had a massive spot on the end of my nose, and nobody needs to see that. But anyway, yes, I've been invited to join an exciting new opportunity. And I would like you to introduce to you the people you can see as photographs at the moment of words. So, ladies, if you'd like to put on your cameras and your microphones, s'il vous plaît. So, hello, this is Benicia.
Hello.
And come on, where are you, Helen? Helen? Can't hear you, Helen. Where's she gone? Okay.
Maybe somebody at the door.
Maybe there is someone at the door. So we'll just carry on, shall we? Right,
Yes. Oh,
right. So, as you can see up on the screen, there is something called the Trinity Experience, and that is the three of us. We are Trinity Experience, three respected independent mediums who have decided to join together to create something new and open access up to the public. Benicia, I believe it was. Can you tell me how it started?
well, it actually started from Helen, actually. She was the one who came up with the idea. There was something that she was given an opportunity and it didn't work out. So she decided, well, why don't I start something up? So we got together and we started talking, and then we started to have ideas of what we wanted to be called. And I came up with the word Trinity as meaning three people. Okay. And then from there, we started to build up a concept, and we thought, let's go out to the public instead of the public trying to find us, and basically represent in our own disciplines of what we bring to the table in terms of our spiritual endeavors, to help the public get a more understanding of what being on the spiritual side of life is all about, and making it easier for them, and taking away that inhibitions or that woo-woo type feeling where you have to go in certain places. I feel the more we take ourselves out of our comfort zone, the more the public will realize that this is something that's just natural. It's not, it's something easy to get to, but also it can help them with everyday life and give them comfort, and definitely allay their fears about anything that they may be concerned or worried about.
Yes, I completely agree. I mean, sort of media and the film industry have done such a good hatchet job on the idea of the life after death, and that it's something to be feared, that it puts a lot of people off. Do you agree?
Absolutely. Well, for me, coming into the movement, I would say those perspectives did put me off, because I was under the impression that that's what it was all about. However, experiencing it for myself, it is something entirely different and something so beautiful and profound. I would advocate anybody to embrace this spiritual path, because that's who we are in essence.
Absolutely. And so by going into a different setting, as Helen moves about the screen, we'll just carry on talking till she's got herself sorted out. So by going into a different setting, which we'll come on to in a second, we're hoping to break down the barriers. Would you agree with that, Helen? Oh, Helen, you can still can't hear you, darling.
Breaking down the barriers to spiritualism is definitely our thing. I think, I don't know if Benicia's already said it or not, but it was, thought pattern come the other day is, let's take ourselves out to the people. And I think that's
Absolutely.
really necessary at this time when people are feeling so jaded with what's
Yeah.
going on in the world,
Yeah.
and we want healing and, love and support, and we want to empower people, and that is probably the angle where we are coming from for sure.
So by taking ourselves out into this public space, of which we're going to talk about in a moment, it's very much reaching those people who perhaps would be too frightened to come to see a medium on their own, or would be again too frightened to go into a spiritualist church because it's the unexpected. And like I was saying to Benicia, the media and the film industry have done such a good job of turning us into mediums, into very strange people, the way we're portrayed, and the whole life, the knocking on the tables and the rattling of the windows and all the scary stuff, which really isn't. This is about contacting our loved ones who have just literally slipped into another room that we can't see with our visual eyes, but they are very much with us. Would you agree?
Yeah, I believe, who doesn't remember watching Ghosts, with Whoopi Goldberg, and that was beautiful portrayal of how we can connect with those, that we can't see. And yeah, it is a bit woo-woo for some people, but there's also the thing is sometimes it's not fair, it's just church, they've had that upbringing, whatever type of upbringing it may be, of a religious or non-religious, but it may be something that they just have no idea what we do. And then of course, our industry has had a pretty bad rap over the last few years. There's lots of people out there for ill gains, knock, 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 voodoo witch doctor Obersky Smiths, .com, pays £1 billion to release the spout. And I think, we've got to get above that and away from that. That's nothing to do with what we do. We are, my dad passed not too long ago, and I always say it's like talking to him, while he's in the kitchen, and I can't see him, we can't hear him, but I know he's in there, and
Mm.
that's the kind of love that never dies. That you know that relationship you have with people doesn't stop just because we slip out of this dimension and slip into another one. We
Absolutely. I mean, I always say to a lot of my clients, if you wouldn't have been frightened of someone in life, why would you be frightened of someone in death? It just
absolutely,
doesn't make sense. And
yeah.
also my upbringing as well was very much, I was told by my grandmother, "Oh, you stay well away from that. That's dangerous stuff. You don't dabble." It's taken me all this time to sort of release that fear and to embrace what I now do and absolutely now love, because it's about bringing those messages to the people and having those messages that there is proof of life continuing, and it brings them joy, it brings them peace, and it brings them healing. And actually, that's what we're all about.
Yeah, mediumship is uh, providing evidence that life continues, and it's that evidence based. Who have we got, what, and what have they come to say? And like you said, if my dad wasn't a scary figure while he was here, if he loved me while he was here, I know he's gonna still love me over there, and that's the most important thing that we need to get across to people, that love never dies.
Mm.
And like you say, it's just I always say, when you're at school and you rub your hands together and you do that and you can feel that the atoms and the electrons all moving and thing, you can't see what's there, but something's there. And that's a bit like mediumship for the layperson. They know something's there, but they just don't know what. And it's our job to prove who we've got, to bring through that message of love, support, upliftment. And without evidence, there is no mediumship. And that's the difference between probably those witch doctors saying, I can get your third, husband removed,
The
second cousin.
disreputable ones.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's going away feeling empowered, uplifted, and even if it's not connecting, even if you want a psychic reading and you don't want to connect with those spirit side of life, there is guidance to be had. There is a lighter way of looking at life. There's looking at it from a different perspective, a fresh pair of eyes. And again, support community. We're not, do you want to come and join our,
Come
come and
join our
join us.
community.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Benicia, do you have anything to add?
I would also like to add to that, it's not only about our loved ones coming through, it's also about loved ones coming through who have upset or done harm to others on the earth plane and didn't get that opportunity to apologize. I've also encountered where some clients have resisted, but when the message has come through, they
Mm,
take that recognition. And what you find is that sometimes they've been carrying a lot of hurt and a lot of pain over a number of years, but having that recognition and acknowledgement allows them to release and realize that somebody has taken ownership for what has gone before. That's also a definitely a healing experience for
absolutely.
both
Yeah.
us and the client as well.
Yeah,
Can
totally.
I can I just add in there, like we said, fear, guilt, shame, they are the lowest vibrating energies, and they're the things that people hold on to for the bulk of their life, not knowing that they can release it, they can let go. And sometimes, as Benicia says, when loved ones come through with recognition of what they did, they could have done better whilst they were here. It's not, we'll never force onto anybody to have an apology that they don't want to accept, but where there is willing, eternal progress for every human soul, that's what we're there. When we go back to whoever, wherever, the other side is, there is room for growth. And that growth may be looking at life saying, I could have done things differently, and
Mm,
bringing that message back, as Benicia says, as recognition, and then that in turn brings about the healing, which
yeah.
is, it's beautiful to watch, it's beautiful to see, and it's beautiful to hear.
Okay, thank you. So, Benicia, I'm going to ask you if this is okay. If if, for example, I am a layperson and I know nothing, and I find Trinity Experience, and we're going to tell you where that is in a second, and I'm sitting down in front of you, what can I expect? How is this reading, this connection going to look to the layperson who's sitting in the other chair?
So, for the lay person, we try to let go of any expectations. We try to make the client feel as comfortable as possible. I always say, if you've got a question in mind, hold it in your mind.
Mm,
Just hold it in your mind. And as we go through the reading, if that message doesn't come through, then we can talk about it at the end. But the main thing is that you are receptive because we can't
absolutely.
always guarantee what's going to come through and how it is delivered. But as long as the recipient is open to what comes through, then it's much more easier for the information to flow through. I feel when you go through reading, you should always let go for expectations because you get more than what you expect.
And very often people do come for a reading and have a very specific person in mind and message in mind. And it's quite difficult to release that because we can't dial up, like you say, we can't dial up the dead. We don't have a phone book to say this is the person we want to bring through. So, we have to, as you say, have that open mind, be willing to take the messages and things. And just to be willing that the right person is going to come through for you at that time, even if it isn't the person that you anticipated or wanted, because they will have the message from that higher perspective that you need in the current moment.
But sometimes when they're asking for a certain person, what I've tended to find is that they've not quite healed from that situation. And this
Mm,
is why that person is not coming forward
yeah.
because they're not ready to receive. So this is why another party will step forward to deliver that message. So in the end, they need to know that they've still got to work on things to release and to heal and have that acceptance. And once the acceptance happens, then that loved one can step forward. But that is normally the case when the particular person that they're looking for doesn't come forward because the person hasn't healed or
Mm,
accepted that they've passed.
yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. So, Helen, I'm going to come on to you now, if I may. So, where can we find Trinity
Wow,
and
you
what's
can.
happening? What exciting thing is happening?
So, next week, June the 22nd to the 28th, in the High Cross Shopping Centre on the lower floor. It's outside the old Debenhams
And this is in Leicester.
in Leicester, High Cross, High Cross Leicester, if you Google that one. So Claire, Benisa, and myself will be there from 11 o'clock daily to accept bookings for readings, for spiritual guidance, whether you would like mediumship or psychic. We're open to help you in the best way we can. How can we serve you? How can we serve those spirit side of life? So you can either book ahead using our www.trinityexperience.co.uk,
Which is
or
unfortunately out of shot.
I was out to shop, but www.trinityexperience, or one word, .co.uk. UK. You can either book ahead or you can just take your chance and turn up on the day. And if there's availability, we will fit you in. We have different time lengths, different costings, but we're here. If you want to have a chat, come and meet us. Um, yeah, we're just gonna be there just for 1 week. So we've got lots of exciting things. We've also got, if you sign up now to the www.trinityexperience.co.uk, sign up, you could win the chance to win a 30-minute reading. So if even if you don't want to pay for reading, you want to take your chance, sign up. We're going to do a draw on the Friday. Can't remember what the date is. I think it's the 26th. On the Friday, you must be available Saturday or Sunday to take your reading. That's the only thing. But come along, support us, share us, shows your love. You know, we are new. We are doing it, I believe, for the best intentions. We are taking spirit out to the people and not closing ourselves in anymore. So if you want to come and join us, please do.
Yeah, I do feel that we are sort of spiritual ambassadors for the divine, really, aren't we? We're taking that message out to bring hope and love as much as anything else. And those
Healing.
conversations we're going to have are going to be as important as the readings.
Yes, I think so. And it's about
Absolutely.
building a community. So we're going to set up a Facebook group. Come on, you can chat on there. One of us will be on there, you know, on a daily, dipping in and dipping out. So if you need to know anything, just come and join us, have a look, see what we're about. Ask what if you're worried about what's going to happen, we can explain all that. More details on our website. But yeah, please. We would love to see you.
We certainly would. And I hope you can see that not one of us is scary.
No, we're not.
Not one of us is scary. We are all here to serve and to bring the joy and love and faith from the spirit world through. So, ladies, thank you so much for joining me on this
You're
very short
welcome.
one.
Thank you.
And looking forward to seeing you all soon. Take care. Bye
Thank
bye.
you.
Okay, bye.